with you guys. My name is Dustin, and I am your host. This is a podcast all about the Roosevelt's brand and community. Fandom, fashion, and friends is what we're all about here on Wear Mighty Things. And if that sounds like fun, friends, well, you came to the right place. It's great to be back with you guys. And before we dive in, I want to just make a quick comment to let you know that you can get all of our content by liking and subscribing to the channel here on Wearable Fandom. Please hit subscribe, ring that bell, and get notifications of our new content as it releases. Now, of course, as you can see, I don't do this alone. I'm not the solo host. I am just a host. And I am joined by my good pal, my good friend, John Madigan. John, welcome back to Wear Mighty Things. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm having a great week. In fact, the 3-day week has already started. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. Same here. How's the weather over there? Because right before we just started recording, maybe 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, we just got this giant hailstorm coming down right
What?
now as we're speaking. Oh my God, it is literally raining cats and dogs. It is pretty bad outside and it's going a little nuts. It's going
Okay. Well, we will.
how is the weather by you?
It's the same as it always is. I think one of the things I constantly say here is that it's 55, it's 63 and clear. Probably be a little bit foggy. We don't watch fireworks here for the 4th of July. We watch colored patterns reflect off of the fog and the clouds. So we never see the fireworks. We just see the splashes of color against the backdrop of the clouds. So same as always over here. So I'm enjoying that. And yeah, and it's only about 4 o'clock here, my time.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. What are some Fourth of July traditions that you usually do at your family? Are fireworks legal where you are?
They are, but I want to get into that. But before I do that, I want to
Okay, all
thank
right,
everybody.
okay.
Thank everybody
I'm off
who's
my game.
here. No. It's okay. It's okay. We actually our good friend and former guest here on Where Mighty Things, Ron, checking
Oh,
in
Ron
from the
DePody.
Denver
Hey,
Fan
check it out.
Expo. Ron is running an unofficial meetup. You know, I gotta say, when they put it on the website, it kind of goes from unofficial to kind of official. I mean, I
Oh
know
yeah,
we
oh yeah.
we
That
use
was
that.
so cool. I was really happy when I saw that for Rob. Rob,
Yeah.
I was really happy when I saw
Who?
that for him.
Who?
That's the first time I've seen that where they've put a so-called fan meetup
Yeah.
on the official website. That was the first time I've noticed that.
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
pretty dang cool. I'm pretty happy for Ron.
We're very excited for you, Ron. I hope you guys are having a blast. Wish you could be there. In fact, I didn't tell anybody. I was trying to sneak in there, but more on that in a few minutes. Um, and so we'll dive into. We're going to talk about Back to the Future. We're going to talk about Jaws. We're going to talk about all of the releases that came through this week for Roosevelt and the Denver Fan Expo. But before we do that, my friend, what are you wearing, John?
I am wearing. I just got this.
Oh
The uh
yeah,
this is the new Snoopy Yacht Club T-shirt.
killer.
Um, my best friend Ariane surprised this for me. I came home from work today, and I don't know why I just can't talk today. I just can't speak.
Blah, 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 blah. It's all
Blah blah
right.
blah
It's all
blah blah
right.
blah blah blah. No, I came home and there was a package sitting there for me. And I was like, I didn't order anything, and I opened it up, and that was a very, very, very sweet surprise. So thank you so much, Ariane. I really, really, really appreciate
Yay, that's
that.
nice. I
Um,
need to send her my address so she can drop me gifts too.
they, what are you wearing today, my friend?
Well, I am wearing a shirt I have not worn in a long time. I was looking, trying to figure out. I thought about wearing some Back to the Future gear, but nope. This is the Beskar Steel. I'll put it down here a little bit more from the Mandalorian. This pattern is designed to look like the Beskar Steel ingots that the Mandalorian has, from which he makes his armor. So it's a fun shirt. I enjoy wearing it. I love this color, and just I normally when I come on the cast, I give a lot of thought. This was actually the shirt I wore to work today. So I just came from work, hopped on. Here we are casting. So away we go.
Do you get a lot of comments at work about your shirts? Because
Yes, I do.
I can't wear Roosevelts at work. So my it's kind of funny. Like my coworkers, outside of what little things they may see on my personal social media, they really have no clue about any of this. They don't
Uh-huh.
know like this side. of me, you know?
Ooh.
And I've explained little bits and pieces of it, but to someone who's not actively involved in the community, understands like what we do and how we're a part of it, it does sound a little off. Like, yeah, I have all these friends and we wear these fun shirts, and but only from this one, shirt company. Um, so they're not really aware of all my stuff. Do you get a lot of comments at work though?
100% I do. A lot of people, I was in London last week and people love the Disney shirts. They love the Ratatouille shirts. So they're always, they know I have a lot of different shirts. And so they always want to see which one did you pick? Which one are you wearing? What's that one from? So today when I showed a couple of Star Wars nerds, the Beskar Steel, they didn't quite get it immediately, but then they did. And they're like, oh, that's so cool. So they liked it. So yeah, tend to get a lot of compliments. That's one of the side effects of being a Roosevelt's fan is you tend to get a lot of acknowledgement and recognition. And so yes, people love the shirts and always will ask me, "What the heck are you wearing? What are you wearing?" And that's why I got to bring that down to you. We have a little bit of a crowd forming here, John. And Sal says, "What up, party people? Happy to have a shirt positive audience, or office and audience. I assume we have a shirt positive audience, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Robert. Robert is here. Says hello.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah, Anthony. Anthony's back here. Anthony of the
What's up,
Seas.
Anthony?
Remember, John, they're called ships, not
Yes,
boats.
ships, not boats. Yes.
Yes, and Nightly Reading is here. Hello, nice to see you.
Hello.
It's so good to see
Nice
you
to
all.
see you
Thank you
too.
guys for hanging out with us. Well, I don't know about you, John, but the weekend has begun for me. I'm super thrilled. I don't have to work tomorrow, and I've got, of course, the weekend. So it's a long weekend. We're starting early here. We're ready to go. How about you? Do you have to go to work tomorrow?
No, thank God. So I only get 4 days off a year for work in terms of holidays.
Okay.
So that would be Fourth of July. What is it? Thanksgiving, Christmas. Um, God, and there's one other we get.
New Year's
But yeah, I
Day.
only get. Oh yeah, and New Year's Day. Yes, that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
those are the four holidays I get off every year. So I'm very blessed to have a nice paid holiday off. It's funny. So Fourth of July growing up was never really a big holiday for me. Fireworks are not legal here in New York City. Um, Not to mention people use them all the time. You just drive right over the Jersey and just bring them over the bridge. I mean, don't get me wrong. People use them,
Oh,
um,
okay. I get it.
but it was just a thing that like my family never like really took part in. Like we didn't have barbecues, we didn't have, and like it kind of like disappoints me. So like as like an adult, like I hope to, and like when I have like my own family and everything, like I hope to make Fourth of July a bigger holiday. I would love to do some fireworks and like get some grilling going on and whatnot. What was Fourth of July like for you growing up?
Well, I think I am typing into the chat. Um, the chat actually tell us about your favorite Fourth of July traditions, and it would be great. Yeah, and Dan says Happy Independence Day Eve. That's right,
Thanks,
Dan.
Dan.
Dan Chatfield, Dan the Man Chatfield. Dan's everywhere. Like, yeah, Dan is everywhere.
No, Dan's the man
For
for sure.
so for Fourth of July, for sure, there was a lot of fireworks, but we really didn't have big fireworks. Like we didn't do anything like M80s or big ones. We had bottle rockets, sparklers, the little snake things, some no Roman candles, and part of that stems from the fact that my mom's uncle had a bad accident with a firecracker when he was young, and he like actually like blew off a couple of his fingers
Oh
in his
my
hand.
god.
And so she did not really want us to be around fireworks.
No, I get
So
that, of
yeah.
course.
So when we got a little bit older and we kind of want to participate in that stuff, what they actually are, my parents would take us um, when it's not a drought in Orlando. There's lots of places to see really good fireworks. One of the best places is actually downtown. Do you remember when we were in town for MegaCon? You and I went downtown to that tiki bar, Aku Aku, and
Yes.
I showed you that Lake Eola is the name of that place with the big fountain. Every
Yes.
year, tomorrow, this weekend, they will be doing a huge fireworks display over that lake. I guarantee it. Of course, Disney has a lot of great stuff. So yeah, we used to go see that kind of thing, and grilling. hot dogs, hamburgers, that kind of a thing. Yeah, the sort of just typical American stuff, and then maybe we go out for some um, fireworks. The one thing I will say is, if I remember correctly, fresh strawberries always seem to be in season. So one thing that my mom really liked to make for 4th of July, strawberry shortcake. So we would get like
Oh,
the little strawberry shortcakes. You mix some sugar and strawberries, sliced strawberries together, put some whipped cream on them, feed them to the kids, and they're bouncing off the walls for hours.
that's all. That sounds like you had like a really nice, happy and healthy 4th of July.
Yeah,
Growing up, surrounded by loved ones. That sounds like an awesome time, though. I
yeah.
absolutely love that. And, um, but yeah, so when I get older, though, I definitely would like to make 4th of July more of a thing, though.
Make it more of a thing. You're
Make
not
it more
old
of a
enough.
thing in my own life. It meant like when I'm like established. Like
What's
right now, I
stopping
got nothing.
you? What's
Right now,
stopping you now?
right now I got nothing. I got the dogs, and they don't like fireworks.
Oh yeah, that's a real
They don't.
that's a real thing. That's definitely a
They
real thing.
they don't like this. This is not a good holiday for them. They don't. They're not a fan. Um,
Not a fan.
before we get into today's topics and everything, I did want to start off and tell you a fun story
Okay,
that
all right.
happened last night.
How do I know that?
Just
How do I know in advance this is somehow going to end up to be a Diddy punchline? I
This
just
is not a Diddy punchline.
somehow I just know you're just like trying to sneak Diddy jokes in on the cast.
Oh, we're gonna sneak some Diddy jokes in, but this is not one of them. Okay? Did he do it?
Okay.
Did he do it?
No, you got it. I don't know. He got off.
He got off. He got off a few times. Now,
Where's my rim shot? Where's my rim shot?
So last night I went out with my good friend and my neighbor Ann Brown, who is a fantastic insider. We haven't met Ann, and she is is that an applause?
It's applause. It's applause. Yes. What I want is a rim shot. Rim shot. Go ahead, Ann Brown.
Yes. So last night I went out with my friend and fellow insider and my neighbor, Ann Brown, who's just a great insider. Her and her
Yeah.
wife are just terrific people. Anybody who met them on the cruise or any kind of meetup absolutely knows that. They're just great people. So we live pretty close to each other. So after work, we decided to meet up at Applebee's for happy hour. They had $5 drinks and half off appetizers. I mean, how can you beat that?
You're totally forgetting that I was literally physically present when you guys negotiated this hangout.
Yes, you were. Oh yeah, when we figured this out. Yes, and now that's where we go. That's our spot.
Okay, all right.
Applebee's.
One day maybe you'll invite me.
You can come anytime.
Noted.
Come anytime.
All right,
please.
sorry.
My God.
I'm messing with the rhythm of your story. Keep on keeping on.
So, I met her after work. We're there. We're chatting. We're having a good time, and the drinks are only $5. So you're pounding them back, and I'm not driving. So I had a few. And then when when the night's kind of ending, all the drinks kind of start hitting me a little bit. And
Ooh.
I start feeling a little light. And as it turns out, I cannot be trusted to call Ubers on my own when I'm intoxicated. Because at the end of the night, it's finally time for me to leave. Literally, we closed down Applebee's. They were shutting down. We stayed until close. I call my Uber. I wait for it. I get in the car, and he starts driving. And well, as it turns out, I just put down any random address. I did not put down the address of my house. I put down. So we're driving, and we get to this random destination of a house that I don't know in an area that I do not live in. And I look around. I'm like, where the hell are we? And I look in the app, and sure enough, I did not put in an address to my house.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it was very funny. The driver, who's now annoyed because now he just has me bumbling, and really, we are not near my house at all. He's like, "Are we at least close?" And I look around. I'm like, "No."
Well, John.
Thankfully, Uber will let you change the address in there. So
Yeah, for
I
a
mean,
fee. They'll let you
yeah, no,
change it
for
over
free.
and
No, I
over and
paid
over
it.
again. Yeah.
No, I paid it, and I got home. but as it turns out, we should have a sober person check the address of what I'm putting in, because I just went anywhere.
Pro tip for you, my friend. Preset your home address in, so all you have to do is type in home. And if you're so drunk you can't type in home, get someone to, can you call me an Uber to go home? Like
Yeah,
literally, it
exactly.
should just put it in there and then you don't have to remember it.
Yeah, well, I made a mistake, Dustin. I don't have to
That's all
tell
right.
you.
We're having fun. We're having
I had
fun.
I had fun. I had a good time.
We're on an
Hanging out with Anne is
adventure.
always such a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, just so I wanted to start that off. That's kind of like that's where my night was. That's how I ended my night last night.
Got a few
Getting in
comments
the
here.
Uber. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a few comments about how people are spending their 4th of July. Anthony is in Atlantic City tonight. Fireworks at 9:30. Oh man.
Oh man, Anthony, we got
Oh,
to go to Atlantic City one day, man. I love Atlantic City. Would love to go
Sal
back with you, man.
likes Sal likes Aku Aku. Sal, are you an Orlando local? I don't remember exactly where you're from. Dan says lots of fireworks growing up in California pre-fire restrictions. Now we just look forward to day off and doing things with the kid. That's
That's the best, right?
really good. That's really good. Cap Dan, who we've just been talking about, $5
Yes.
Long Island
Ireland.
iced teas.
And they put it in, like, in this big giant glass. Like, it's not like a regular sized glass. They put it like in like the fishbowl. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, Sal says $5 Long Island's death. Yeah, sounds like it was
yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good time.
Cap Dan says, and it was not my address either.
I know, right? At least that would have made sense. It was not her address.
Oh, geez. Classic Uber. And Millie are the best. Yes, and Millie are the best. Lots of fun.
I
Very,
love
very
them
nice.
both. They are both
Very
great
nice people. And at least you were still in Staten Island, says Daniel. Oh, it did not. Did that show?
It's not showing on my end, no.
Oh, show on screen. There it goes. Yeah,
At
it
least
looked
you're
like it
still
was
in Staten
showing.
Island, yeah. Yes, thank God for that. I didn't go over the bridge.
Sal confirms he works in downtown Orlando and lives in Sanford. Wow, that's a fun commute. I used to work in downtown Orlando as well. And on the topic of work, Captain America, I worked from home today. Good for you, Anne. You get to start the holiday just a smidge early. Well, it's been a really fun week, John, as we kind of transition out of 4th of July activities. I will be doing video editing. That's what I'll be doing. And you know what? That's fun. That's certainly fun, but I've definitely let things pile up. So we had a lot of really great new drops from Roosevelt's. John, 22 days left till the first night of Comic-Con in San Diego. Super excited about that. And this week got just a little more interesting on that front. Do you want to say why?
Yes. So we got a post from Mosh Isley this week. Was it just yesterday? I think it was just yesterday. We got this post from Mosh Isley showing off the black denim Dan vest. Like I think they called the denim death, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they did.
And that came out with 5 new exclusive patches, and as well as some new patches available for purchase on the site. And that looked at, and it's all sold out except for extra small. That looks absolutely beautiful.
We saw this. Well, we saw this already, right? We saw John wearing this.
Yes, we did see John wearing this. It looks absolutely beautiful. I love the black look. That looks slick. That looks that looks nice. I mean, it always looks better in black, doesn't it? I mean,
well, it was kind of interesting because first of all, look at how the light hits this. Like, I don't know how they lit this, but see how the top is lit differently than the back.
Yes,
I do not imagine that it's actually that much pre-faded at the top. But yeah, so this is
probably not.
This is the same layout as the Denim Dan, but this is Denim Death. And let's see, there's no model. Usually they have a shot where there's a model in there. But pretty cool, huh? Like that's a really neat. Now, did I understand correctly that it comes with some patches? Is that right?
I believe it comes with 5 exclusive patches.
Ooh.
Is my understanding. I was really blown away, and well, like this is a surprise drop. Like we knew that they were announcing something when it came. We didn't know if it was going to be something that you picked up at Mosh Isley or if it was going to be. I think most of us kind of thought it was going to be something that you got there, like it was going to be an exclusive or something. But they kind of Mosh Isley kind of exclusively dropped it, and in terms of like it was for sale on Roosevelt's website, but it was not something that Roosevelt's put out there. It was something Mosh Isley had put out there. So that was really cool, and it just kind of reminded me of like, this is fun. This is absolutely like something gets put out there, and everyone kind of like crams and goes crazy, and like, you know. I like things like that. Like none of us saw that coming. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen, and I liked it. What's your thoughts on the Black Denim Dan?
I liked it. Actually, this was the ad that they put out, Mosh Party Denim Death Classic Denim Vest. I brought this back up not just because they had it, but it also shows the cool patches that you got here. Mosh Mighty Things.
yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
hey,
I love
John,
that.
John, they're stealing our gimmick.
Of Stink 182?
Well, no, I mean we're Mighty Things. They're Mosh Mighty Things.
Oh, we're Mosh Mighty. Oh, right. Yes.
And then look, Moshevelts.
No,
Add
I
your
love
own
it. No,
spikes and studs.
Those are some sick patches. I absolutely love
the patches look pretty cool. Like, yeah, I also like this this Deadeye Roosevelt smiley face. This is actually pretty cool. Like this.
Yeah, no, that is really.
This
nice.
is my favorite, and this looks like Party Wolf.
Yeah, no, that definitely looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
More patches available, it says, and so I imagine they'll probably have one for San Diego, like an actual Mosh San Diego patch, because once you've got a bunch of these, like you can just add some more.
Oh, absolutely.
So you said
it looks like you can actually purchase those patches on the website. Those are available. Those ones that you see are there, but I believe the vest is going to come with 5 exclusive patches.
Yeah. So it comes with 5 patches, just like Denim Dan. That's cool. I think they'll probably have like a one at San Diego. I think it was smarter for them. Like you said, we didn't know if we were actually going to get this as an exclusive drop or something you could buy at Mosh, or was this way people can buy it and wear it to Mosh. They can actually like punk trooper it up to, Forrest's. That's really Forrest's character. But
absolutely,
a lot of people enjoy putting the punk into Star Wars, and so that gives you a really cool start on it. Like, I mean, this shirt probably would look pretty good with that as well. I didn't buy it. I did get like a little heads up. One of the things that was actually unique about this is that Mosh dropped the link to the people in their Discord, which was the same link. Like if you knew the name of the product, you could just go search it on the main website.
Sure, of course. It wasn't an exclusive link.
Right. It wasn't an exclusive link, but they dropped it in their Discord. And so I think that was a way for them to get people into their Discord so that they can engage. Either way, a lot of fun. A lot of people got them, seem pretty happy about it. We'll see a bunch of people wearing them at Mosh Isley. I am not 1,000% convinced I'm going to Mosh at Comic-Con this year.
What?
Because I may be going to the fandom party, and that's a much harder get into kind of.
What is the fandom party?
Fandom is the fandom.com is the website that it's like a wiki for all types of like fan hosted experiences. They've been around forever, and they have a lot of relationships with celebrities. So that's like the party Jason Momoa shows up to, right? That's like a pretty exclusive thing. So Mosh is not sold out either. So I'm still planning my schedule. I haven't settled it. I love Mosh. Mosh is fun. Mosh is a great time. Last time it was a little weird at the end. We talked about it. We talked about the weirdness at the end there, but we'll see. I'm not out. I'm not out on it for sure. Let's see. What is some comments here on the Denim Death here? It says from Dan. It says it comes with 5 free patches, but not that they're exclusive with the vest. I actually hope that's true, Dan, because it would be great to put a few of these on my Denim Dan. However, I still have not put any patches on my Denim Dan. My Denim Dan is pristine. Yours looks great.
Mine is all over the place.
Let me see if I can reach this. Nope, not that.
While you're there, you reaching for your baby oil too?
No. Not this. Wrong one. Come here. All right. So, see this thing?
I do see that thing. What is that thing?
This, my friend, is full of patches.
Oh my God, you have a lot of
And
patches.
I want you to take a look at some of these patches.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a look at some of these patches.
In fact, actually, we won't look at all of them. I won't bore everybody to death. Oh yeah, that's actually a cool thing. So these are all Star Wars patches that I got at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh my goodness gracious!
So I want to show you a few of these. So look at this bad boy.
Wow.
So this is one
That's
from
beautiful.
Tokyo. Got just try to find the really good ones. There's a couple of really killer ones. This one looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
this one's
wow,
that one's like printed on there.
Yeah.
But then you get some like this bad boy right here. Look at this.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of detail in there. Wow. That
Yeah.
looks really nice.
Oh yeah. Here's another guy I met in the hallway outside of my hotel room. What do we got here? And you got just a bunch of them. Like I'm gonna make some of these for the future. Here's another cool one. So
really cool.
I also got the official patches from look at this bad boy.
Wow. There's a lot of detail
down there.
And
then get this. One of the guys, well, not the guys, it's a couple that proposed during Star Wars Celebration. They were part of the production crew that put on the entire show, and they had a patch for their wedding.
Oh,
I love you. Look at this. It says, "I love you, I know." And they actually got married at Star Wars Celebration. And then, of course, it's got Elvish.
They got married, or they proposed, or he proposed at Star
Wars? They got married. They got married. They had proposed.
I was going to say, so, if he proposed at Star Wars Celebration, and she said no, and he had all these patches now to hand out, that would have been weird.
Oh, you know what else I got in here? I'll show you. Well, I guess I only have one of these. This was actually the pass.
Oh, the badge to get in.
Yeah, this is Sunday badge. Awesome. Anyways, so I have a whole little thingy here of pins and badges that basically I need to put on to my jacket. So I'm going to make my Denim Dan is just going to be a Star Wars Celebration jacket. I'm just going to put all my Star Wars Celebration jackets. So to your question, I'm going to load it up with Star Wars. Up with Star Wars.
I can't wait to see. Now, do you plan on ironing them on? Very nice.
No.
Or no, you're going to stitch them in?
Stitch them in.
Yeah. Now, you know how to do that? You know how to stitch them in?
Yeah, man. You didn't take home ec?
We didn't have home ec. That wasn't an option.
Well, back in the old days, back in, I mean, they...
we didn't have home ec. We didn't have workshop. We didn't, woodworking, whatever they call it.
Well, that's because kids lose fingers, right? You know, the idiocracy is slowly progressing on us.
But so do the people in your family with the fireworks as well. So
no. Very different. Cutting fingers off because you didn't pay attention to a saw, very different than holding onto a firecracker too long.
Is it that much of a difference? I don't know. Sounds like both idiotic, but
maybe not. It's like, but here's why. Because, if the fingers go kaboom, like that's just a thing that happens. Like, it's instant. But, if you saw off a couple of your fingers, you start to feel pain in the first one, and then you keep going into the second one. What's the matter with you? It's a stretch.
And then you're still gonna make it to the next class. My God.
I know. Oh man, yeah. Ariane with the truth. John doesn't understand a word of this Star Wars talk. We talked about this, so we're gonna do something. Let's talk about this. We haven't talked about this in a little while. When John and I were on the boat, we were trying to think about how could we do something to raise. You got me. Sorry, Anthony. Don't hate me. You got me. You got me. Actually, we might have been on the dinghy. We might have been on a dinghy. Maybe. But we talked about how to do two things. How can we get people to chip in on how long John can watch the marathon of episodes 1 through 9? Like, we want people to sponsor with a donation to a charity the viewing, and then we're going to get you educated on some Star Wars.
Okay, look, I'm all for it.
And now you realize that there's 9 movies, and let's say that, I mean, they're at different lengths. Some of them are shorter than others, but it's probably about 15 hours of Star Wars.
Oh, that's a lot. So how many
15 hours of Star Wars.
How many days are we splitting this up amongst? Or is this all in one sitting?
All in one sitting. That's the whole point. Like, watching Star Wars in your spare time is not worthy of getting supported for charity. That's just
15 hours, man. Yeah. Oh my God.
Pay me to watch some Squid Game.
But hey, look, for charity, I'll do it. I'm all for it.
Hey,
And I would do it. Oh, John
hey,
Kilcanes. I
yeah, here he
absolutely
is. Hi,
love John
John.
Kilcanes.
Good
He
to
is
see
the
you, man.
best.
Good to see you. Welcome in. So we have to think about how we're going to do this. We got to solve this, John. So what I want to ask to the audience, and something that we would love to get their feedback is, for those of you who have seen all 9 episodes of Star Wars, what's the right watching order for us to go through from John? Should we do it episode 1, 2, 3, and then dot dot dot? Should we start at 4, 5, 6, go back to 1, 2, 3, then 7, 8, 9? What do you guys think, Chad? And we'll figure it out. But we got to get that going, John, because those movies aren't going to watch themselves. That butt is not going to fall asleep on its own.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, I'm all for it. I say we got to do it, and you're gonna watch it with me, though, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll both do it.
So,
And
so is it just a camera on me while I'm watching the movie?
no, we'll put a camera on both of us. I think
Do I get
one way to do
snacks?
it. Here's one way to do it. We'll basically tell people what we're watching, and then we'll set it up. We'll have a camera on the two of us. We'll have a mic on the two of us. See, most of the audience, everybody in the audience has seen these movies, so they can watch along with us. We'll just all start at the same time, and then they'll hear your reaction in real time to what's going on screen. And I think that'll be actually a lot of fun. So we need to get some feedback. Ariane says start with the Phantom Menace. So she wants to go in episode order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's one way. Now, and Ron comes in and says, I start at 1 now. And we know how much of a Maul fan that Ron is. But for a first timer, start with 4. Okay, so that's Star Wars. Episode 4 is Star Wars, John.
Aren't they all Star Wars?
That's true. But some of them, what's actually true is they actually all have subtitles. But when you think about and look at the ads of the movie posters, let's see. Let me pull this up. Image. All right. Let me show you this. Screens, glorious screens. Share. So when you look at like this one,
Yeah,
there's a lot of different versions of this. And of course, there's international versions of this. But,
sure.
this is like one of the original one sheet that they did. So when they put this, this was like one of the movie posters. And you look, it says Star Wars. Now, the movie that comes out after this, you might have heard of. It's called Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Return of the Jedi. And every Star Wars subsequent to this one has a subname, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, blah, blah, blah. Do you know that this movie also has a subtitle, John? Like it has one of those subtitles, but you don't see it marketed that way. This is just Star Wars, right? Any
Is
idea?
it called A New Hope?
Yes, it is. How'd you know?
Okay, see, I know things. I'm not completely out of the loop. Like I know things. It's just not something that I grew up with.
Okay, okay.
I definitely have learned more and have seen more about Star Wars since being involved within this community
Okay,
than I
okay.
ever did growing up. It reminds me.
Did you just, in 2 different segments of this podcast, tell us I drink and I know things?
I do drink and I know things.
I drink and I know things. Do you know what that reference is?
I drink. I know things. Oh God, no! It sounds familiar. I'm trying to remember. I know things. I know that. What is
I
that
drink
from?
and I know things. It's
I do drink
Tyrion
and I know
Lannister from Game of Thrones.
things. From Game. Oh, I never watched Game of Thrones. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe I was thinking something else. I missed out on that too. Should we do a Game of Thrones marathon?
Not yet. No. Release order. They were made knowing audiences would be aware of the previous releases. Okay, all right. Good call, Dan. John echoes that sentiment. Released order for sure. Sal says I do release order. Blue Harvest. Now
That's the Family Guy special.
Do you know what this means? Do you know what Blue Harvest is?
That's the Family Guy special, no?
It's a Star Wars reference.
I thought
Dan's. It's a deep pull from a Star Wars reference that Dan is mentioning here. Okay, so yes, well, you are correct. Blue Harvest is a Family Guy episode, but what is it really referencing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. So back when Star Wars started to get popular, when they would go to shooting locations, they would get a lot of upcharge because they're like, "Oh, Star Wars, you guys got money," so they would want to upcharge them. So when they went
Sure.
to produce the movie Return of the Jedi, they actually filmed under a fake name. They told them, "We're filming for the movie Blue Harvest," but it was really Return of the Jedi, so that
Oh.
they didn't get like ripped off on the production and locations. And
Oh, that makes sense.
so Blue Harvest is kind of like a deep cut pull back into Star Wars. So that's what the reference is too. And in fact, there are some collectibles. I saw a really cool Star Wars auction that's going to be coming up, and they actually have a Blue Harvest hat that they gave to the production crew. So
Oh,
you
wow.
couldn't buy it, like but it's going up for auction, and I don't know, who knows how much it's going to cost.
I'm sure
Whoa,
it'll go for a good $20 or $30. Like, yeah, I'm sure.
yeah, no, more than that, more than that. All right. Now I only really know the price range of one item that I remember because I was like, holy crap. But a bucket, like that's what they call the stormtrooper helmet, a screen used stormtrooper helmet that was on an actor who was
Oh
on
my god.
screen. What do you think that is projected to go at auction for?
Screen used, actually used. I'd say, yeah. I'm having this in my head. 1.2 million. Like
1.2 million. I
screen
think
used Star Wars
I
Stormtrooper. I mean, Star Wars fans
hey,
are nuts, man.
look, if that's what you're gonna pay, I'm gonna go buy this thing and I'm gonna sell it to you.
I'm
uh
not paying it.
it was estimated between $30,000 and $50,000 for that helmet.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
pretty crazy, huh? Pretty
Oh, that is
crazy.
absolutely insane for sure.
Yeah, it is pretty dope. Gabe says late check in, but I'm here, boys. Hey, Gabe,
What's
how's
up, Gabe?
Denver? He's in Denver.
He is in Denver right now. I'm so
Yeah,
happy for him. Gabe
yeah.
is the man.
These guys hopefully are having a good time. All right, so we talked about Denim Dan. That was really cool. Since we got outreach, why don't we talk about the Denver exclusives and really I should say a little bit more generally, all the fun stuff going on in Denver this weekend. It was actually something really cool to see when we got the screen notes. Let's see, where is it? There it is. Bring it up here. Hello. Hey. Roosevelt's Denver. I like that logo. I don't know if it's reused from previous, but I do like that splash.
It's definitely a
Pretty
nice logo
pretty
for
good.
sure.
So there's a lot going on there. Bunch of people are there. Ron's doing his event. Um, you know, let's. However, the exclusives are the thing we're all about here. So let's jump to the. Where's the all up? Come on, where's the all up? They took it down. Don't they have one for all up? They don't. Where is that? All right, fine.
What are you looking for?
Usually there's a 4 across image that they have.
I'm looking at it.
Well, where is it on this screen?
Hold on, refresh. That's so weird. I see it in mine.
The
It's underneath the
refresh.
map. It's the picture underneath the map.
Maybe it just didn't load.
That is so weird. I have it on mine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, it's fine. It's got to be here. Let's go through each one of these though. Vases de Valor, which is a Hercules colorway. I know you know about Disney stuff. Some of the most fun stuff in the Hercules movie was the vases and the animations that were on them. Any fun reaction to this one? I mean, we kind of saw the Hercules drop not that long ago, but what do you
Yeah,
think of this guy?
a fun shirt. Not my favorite though. This isn't one for me. Not one that I fell in love with.
Yeah,
But I mean, cool for people who love it. Just it's not for me.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. Were you a fan or?
I like it. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, that'd be fun to wear. I think what I liked about this was the backfield. And this
Sure.
is not the super high res, but it looks kind of like it's got this flowy watercolor of blue gradients in the back here. So it's like smudge marks, blue smudges, or things along those
Mhm.
lines. You see
Yeah.
how that's kind of sitting back there. I kind of like that color. But I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. I'd love to have that shirt, but I'm not losing sleep if I don't.
No, no, no. Um, Next one that we're going to talk about, though, that's the winner in my book.
Okay.
Um, Absolutely love this floral. I am a sucker for purple. Everyone knows that. So when it
Yeah.
comes to the purple shirts, that's for me. Especially when I talk about that background with the dinosaurs. You zoom in real close, it might be a little hard to see,
Yeah.
but there are dinosaurs in the
Yeah.
background of that shirt,
T-Rex.
and yes, and that I absolutely love. I think
There's
this is a fantastic color scheme,
John,
and the
there's something
dinosaurs.
way more important than dinosaurs in this shirt. Way more important than dinosaurs.
What a picture of me? Where am I?
Well, you're hiding behind this flower over here, buddy. John, look, they fixed the pocket. Look at the
Yes.
look at the placement of this hibiscus flower in the pocket. It's
Do you
centered.
think
Oh
they
my
listen
god.
to you?
Uh I'm not going to say that they listened to me. All I'm going to say is I was a little looser with my feedback to Scotty in Tokyo than I usually am. I was like, man, why are these flowers not in the middle? I have no idea if they changed it or they just, like maybe we can put this in the middle. Either way, one of the things that I had that was feedback of why I wasn't loving the florals was the placement of this flower was a little bit off centered and it left a bunch of negative. It just, I don't know, my brain just, I couldn't look at it and go, rah. So I haven't
Yeah.
bought a whole lot of florals since that. This was the immediate first thing I saw, and I was like, "Oh, they evolved it. Thank you, friends. Thank you."
I absolutely love this floral. I am really that is one that I would definitely pick up.
Yeah,
That is a solid looking shirt.
this one I
Um,
made a request for, so I asked someone to
did
pick
you
this one up.
now?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
That is
did.
a great shirt.
All right, now they had a really wacko, crazy Colorado shirt last last
Yes.
year, and they came back with all this dinosaur
They're,
craziness. Like, what'd you
they're
think
doubling
of this
down.
guy? What'd you think of this guy?
So this is definitely more of a John shirt, without a doubt. I think this is a great shirt for the people in Colorado. If this, I imagine this shirt has a lot of references to the people in Colorado that they would actually understand.
Yeah.
It's not something that I necessarily would understand. Uh, and I love that individual cities get these kind of shirts and they have
Yeah.
things on the shirts that are meaningful to them, and so when they see it, they're like, "That's my city." I so I really like that for them. For me personally, as a New Yorker, I just don't get it. I like the crazy pattern. It makes you look and it makes you really kind of like stare and be like, "What is all that? What is going on here?"
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Exactly.
so I'm all for it. It's just not something that I understand necessarily that I would spend my money on. But if you're from Colorado, I think that's definitely a shirt for you. What did you think?
I think if you wear this shirt, you announce your presence with authority when you come into a room.
That is a job interview type shirt. Huh? I mean, that is what you wear.
Yeah. That's another movie reference you're not getting. You're not getting my movie reference today. Announce
I'm
my
not getting
presence
it.
with authority.
I'm off my game, man. I don't know what to
I'm
tell
gonna
you.
that's okay. I'm gonna see if somebody in the chat gets announce my presence with authority. Let's go on though to the DC duo, Superman and Crypto, baby. What'd you think of this shirt?
So any shirt that has a dog on it immediately gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
Automatically, like I think this is a great. This is probably one of the better Superman shirts we've seen. I feel like I haven't been too crazy with the DC shirts, Superman shirts in particular, but I do like this one. I like the light color scheme, and the fact that we got Crypto on there with Superman. That's a fun one. I would not be against wearing this.
Yeah, yeah. No, all good. All good. It's
Now, there was a shirt that got posted online, and I'll be honest with you, it was a busy day today, so I wasn't entirely sure. I don't know if they're selling this at the convention, but I don't know if it's a traveling exclusive. Did you see this picture of the
Oh, I
Universal shirt?
did. Yes, the Universal shirt that has Back to the Future on it. Yes.
Yes, it's like the Universal little things almost. It's like a bunch of different things, a Universal mashup, and that
Yes.
really intrigued me. But I looked quickly and didn't see any information on it.
Yeah, I
Um,
did not
would
either.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's about. That is a phenomenal shirt. That I really like that shirt a lot.
Hmm.
Um, I would love to grab that shirt. That's a shirt that I want.
Yeah,
um,
it's the Amblin Entertainment is I believe the one that you're looking for. That's the shirt.
yeah, and I wonder, is that for this weekend only? Is that coming around? Like what? Like that just came out
uh
of nowhere.
yeah, let me see if I can pull it up.
Chat, if you have any information on that shirt that I missed, please let us know. We definitely want to know more about that one. But that was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that shirt for sure.
Yeah. Uh this was the 1 second, and I'll pull this up. Screen, glorious screen. Come on, screen. Do your thing. Window. There we go. Okay. So this was a photo that somebody took of the shirts. So they had the, so, you had the ones we just talked about. And then they had this all day polo, the Rowdy Rex. You saw that they had 2 patches that are exclusive, including this Bigfoot patch.
I did see that. Yes.
Yeah. And then you've got some other things here. They brought some stock out. Hey and Pua from Moana. They brought that out. They've got the Steve hats, the Steve F. Yeah.
Always love the Steve hat.
So they got a few other things here. And then they had this Pineapple Party shirt. Unmasked by Fear. This is like a
some people will be wearing that Pineapple Party shirt on the next Roosevelt's Insider Screws, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then Thrills, Chills, and Long Distance Phone Bills is the name of the shirt you're talking about.
Oh, okay,
so I don't know where this came from, or if it's just kind of like they just pulled it out. I don't remember this shirt in my time with Roosevelt. So, does that shirt look familiar to you, or the Pineapple Party?
No, these are new shirts to me. So. Yeah. This is the first that I'm seeing, unless I'm slipping.
So there's a comment here that says traveling exclusives is what these are called.
Traveling. Okay, so we should be seeing them around.
So there's a Star Wars one here too. Yeah. So let's see. Here's an up close of the Colorado Vibing shirt. This is probably on DTH. Yes, it is. That looks pretty good in person.
It does look really good. The shirts always look better in person. Yeah. They always look better than the rendering.
Let's see. This is the Amblin Entertainment one that you were talking about. You can see you've got hoverboards.
If we can pull up Gabe's comment real quick. Gabe just wrote something really interesting. We didn't know this. He wrote, Amblin is cool because it comes in a women's cut as well. So that's awesome. I love that Amblin shirt. I want that shirt. That is a great looking shirt.
Here's the Jason mask. This one's pretty cool too.
That is really nice.
And then this is the Galactic Mashup, which is just, it's kind of a bunch of Star Wars characters. Looks pretty cool. Like traveling exclusives, like nice. That's pretty dope.
I do love that. And I do have a funny story, if I can have a minute, because the name of the shirt ends in long distance phone calls. And whenever I hear long distance phone calls, okay, well, let's go on to the next segment then.
I said, not no.
I thought you said no. I thought you were talking.
I said, yo.
Whenever I hear long distance phone calls, whenever I hear long distance phone calls,
come on,
brings me back when I was brings me back to when I was 13. When I was 13, and I got in a lot of trouble with a very high long distance phone bill, over $1,000.
Who were you calling?
This girl that I met online. I was 13. I met her online. And we were calling each other every day. She lived in Pennsylvania. She still lives in Pennsylvania. We were calling each other. We were 13, and 13 years old. You don't know what long distance phone calls are. You're not aware. I was vaguely aware, and this is so a month later, like when the phone bill came and it was over $1,000, and my parents flipped out on me. I'll never forget. They woke me up that morning when they saw the phone bill come in online. They woke me up and they are screaming at me. They did not have the money to pay this bill. They did not have the money to pay this bill. They were flipping out. They couldn't believe it, and they were yelling at me. How can you not think about the long distance, phone bill? Like, how can you not think about long distance? And so I said to my parents, I'll never forget this, because my dad had like the biggest face palm ever. And I was 13. I was a little bit of a smart ass though. I was like, I heard about long distance phone calls, but she's in Pennsylvania. That's only one state away. That's not that long.
I didn't call the Pope, Dad.
Right. Dad, I didn't call California. Yeah. I called Pennsylvania. It's right there. I was so serious. I was so serious.
Yes. Got some comments on the exclusives here. Dan says that Barney floral with the purple with the dino is fire. Ron says Denver,
baby.
Hercules has been the least requested for pickup for him.
That makes sense. I can see that.
Yep. Sal says, "Dang, that's a sick floral."
Floral looks great. I love the floral.
And floral is the most requested short for pickup, so it's pretty good. Dan acknowledges my campaign about fixing the flower with a hashtag.
And they did. They fixed it. It works.
I'm not claiming it. I don't care. I just want the result. Vibin feels more like Arizona. Actually, that's a really great comment, Ron. It feels like that. He says, I like that Vibin is very unique, but it doesn't feel like Colorado. I will take your word for it, sir. And then we have Superman was third when it came to request for exclusives. So that's pretty cool. And the traveling con shirt was told it will not be released. So that's pretty cool. That means you've got to buy it, A, while it's in stock, and B, while it's at an event. So it's likely that these shirts will be at San Diego Comic-Con. We had a couple of other fun comments. Gabe says, just had Rocky Mountain oysters. Delicious. Yeah, buddy. You enjoy those. Sal says, go the distance. Is it a top 10 song for Disney of all time?
Top 10 Disney.
I will find my way. I will go the distance. You know that song.
Yeah. No, can we say it's a top 10 song?
Top 10. I mean, top 10's pretty hard. Like, that's got to be a segment.
Disney's got a huge count. Yeah. And then what do you have to figure? So if you're going to do a top 10 Disney list, which I'm not against doing, you have to figure out what are the parameters. Disney is a huge umbrella.
Yeah.
I mean, like, does that include Pixar? Does that include Star Wars? Does that?
It has to. Yeah. Star Wars. There's no musical.
Star Wars is under Disney.
It is. But I mean, like,
the scores though, not like actual.
Okay. Oh, right. No, it wouldn't be scores. It wouldn't be
John Williams. Damn it.
I get you. I like John Williams. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna record another podcast next week. We haven't really said this, but we're having a good time hanging out with you guys. Seems like folks are showing up and enjoying it. So we're gonna try to do this on a weekly basis. So probably next Thursday, unless John tells me otherwise, we're gonna be back here, same bat time, same bat channel. Next week, John, come loaded for bear, and chat. You too. Bring your top 10 Disney songs of all time. We're gonna do it right here, and we're gonna settle this once and for all, because there's just way too many songs. And let's put some boundaries. No scores. This is songs with vocals from. It can be from live or animated shows. It needs to have a traditional chorus verse structure, right? And away you go. And then, so tell us, just figure it out. Just and if you don't like top 10 because you don't know enough Disney songs and you don't struggle the way clearly we will, because we can think of 10 songs that would be on the list, just pick 5. But just come back and we'll see, and we'll hammer it out, and we'll work it through, and we'll see what the top 10 Disney songs of all time are. We're doing that next week. All right. All right, Sal. See what you did, Sal, showing up. You influenced the content strategy.
Now, where are we? So I know Ariane, who's watching, I know her favorite song is going to be "Happily Ever After."
Oh, yeah?
Who she did karaoke with Paging Miss Tomorrow at the MegaCon. Does that count? Because that's not from a movie.
I think
that's
counts.
From the parks.
I think it counts. Right.
It's a great song.
It's a great song. I totally agree. It counts. I think that counts. I think it's fine.
So we allow songs from the parks as well.
Songs from the parks are fine. Just like, don't show up with some arcane B-side remix of a score of a film that nobody saw. Like stick with the hits. This is about the hits. This is not about out Disney nerding anybody here. Okay. Like, anybody should know the songs by the title. I could imagine, like, You Got a Friend in Me probably going to be in that list somewhere.
Sure.
Is it top 10? I don't know where it sits on the top 10, but like, it's a Pixar song. You got a friend in me.
I'm excited to. Oh, and so the other parameter is, so like when we look at like Marvel, like Guardians of the Galaxy, like music's a huge part of that. No, those songs are not allowed.
No. We'll do a different. If we want to do best songs used in movies, it's a different topic. This is classic top 10 Disney songs,
original songs.
All right, so don't show up and like
pull up Awesome Mix Volume 1.
Yeah. I'm so shiny. Yeah. Do you recognize that one from Moana?
Not right now. No,
The turtle,
I'm tired.
or not
It's been a
the
day.
crab that's got the hook,
Were
Maui's
you a
hook.
Moana guy?
Yeah, man. I love I love Moana. Yeah. I pretty much like um any of the Disney princesses. Like I like that, Like but
No, that's fair.
I'm so shiny. Robert says no, only movies. Well, like let's be open-minded here. Like, look, you guys have chat. We have we have microphones. Like we're gonna position and jostle things in there and see what works. But like let's have fun with this. It'll be a fun thing to do next week.
No, I'm
Uh
excited. I'm all
yeah,
for that. We'll definitely do that next week for sure.
yeah. Reflection. That's a song that I don't think is a top 10 song, but it's probably one of my top 3 favorite Disney songs from Mulan.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. So we got a lot to choose from, friends. So think about it. You got a whole week to get this ready. You got a whole week. So
Do
now,
you have a favorite Disney movie? Is Mulan your favorite Disney movie?
my favorite Disney movie. Wow. It's almost certainly going to be a Pixar movie.
That's another list.
Man. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's stick with it. Like we got one list to work through. Like don't confuse me, because then I'll show up. I'll spend too much time on.
We still haven't gone through the list of top Super Bowl halftime shows, which is something we said we were going to talk about last
I
week.
know. We said we were going to talk about that last week, and John's like, after the show, he's like, "Hey, man, we didn't talk about top Super Bowl shows." It happened because we were talking about it before we came on the air, and we were talking about, how good. I will tell you, the number one show. Like, first of all, that Michael Jackson one in LA, that was a really big one. That was a very important one.
Of course.
But the best Super Bowl halftime show. I'm just going to we'll just do this right now. The best Super Bowl halftime show. Do you have your answer?
I have one that's like special and like sentimental to me, and I'm sure you can probably guess mine. It's probably easy for you to guess mine.
Yes. Yeah, it's got to be a Lady Gaga.
No, it's actually not. I think she did a phenomenal job. That's not my number one though. It's not the one that I go back to consistently. No, it's the one that has NSYNC and Aerosmith, Britney Spears.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was good.
That is such a fun mashup that I wish like I could have known like what people were talking about or thinking about at the time. Like, and that's one of the things I love about Aerosmith is that they're kind of willing to go out and kind of like do those fun things. They're kind of willing to. They're not afraid to go out and do things like that. When a lot of other groups might feel like, oh, they're not, they're too cool for that.
Yeah.
And I thought you got that kind of mix and whatnot. That's a fun one. Is that one that you go back to at all or not really?
Go back to is not a word I would use in association with many Super Bowl halftime shows. But that one was good.
When the Super Bowl's coming up, you don't go back and start watching old halftime shows?
Maybe I should.
I do that every year.
Not usual. Not usual.
Really?
All right, I'm going to tell you the best one. You ready?
I'm ready.
The best one was Prince.
Yeah, that was a great one.
The reason why it was so awesome is because it's raining, and I don't know how many people are in a band or have been in a stage crew of a band. I've been in a band. I've also set up and run like stages for. Water is not good for electrically amplified devices, and Prince didn't care, and most people know him like in the pop sense, but he is an incredible guitarist, and man, his solos that he played in the rain, awesome, just killer, just amazing. So that's my favorite. If Chad, if you've got a different one, throw it down. We'd love to hear what you've got. A few more comments. Movies, Pixar counts, but only if released past Disney ownership. Only original songs, in my humble opinion. Yeah, I think that's what we're saying. It's only original songs, not themes, not soundtracks. So I think
got it.
I think you're on the same page with us, Dan.
We can do this. Yeah.
Robert says the quiet side. Robert says the quiet part out loud and says, "No, I don't want to be open-minded." What a thing to say as we're getting ready to celebrate the country's birthday, Robert. But yeah, okay, it's fine. Don't be open-minded. We will just have to, kind of skip past some of your suggestions if they don't. Marmar agrees with me. Prince, yes. Dan as well. Prince was gold. It was so good. Prince says, "Can you make it rain harder?" Yes, so good. Oh, and Robert says Prince was okay. All right, that's good. That sounds like good praise coming from Robert. MJ was the best, hands down. I think I will agree that MJ was the most impactful and most important Super Bowl show, because that really set the tone for the rest. But yeah, I love the way he stood there and just said, no, we're not starting until I'm ready. I love it. Love it. So good. So love it. Yum, yum, yum. Like,
Do you
just the
remember, like,
audacity.
this was like really like cemented in my brain, because like I was young, like really young when it happened.
Yeah.
Obviously there was the whole thing with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we know about that. That was the reason why YouTube was born, by the way. That was, for those of you who don't know, if you look back, the reason why is the guys who invented YouTube went online to try and find the clip. They realized there was no place to find the clip, and they invented YouTube. At least that's the story that I heard. I hope that's real. Um,
Yeah.
but after that, the NFL was not letting newer groups perform. That we had this string of like older groups perform halftime shows
Yeah.
after that. And I remember because like as a kid, like I wasn't watching football, but my parents would definitely call me like, okay, like time to watch the halftime show. I was watching that halftime show with my family, the whole Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake thing. And
Yeah.
then it was like, oh, I don't care. Like after that, like there was a string of years where I was like, I don't care. Rolling Stones, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, what? I'm like, no. I was like, will the halftime show ever return?
Well, Katy Perry's halftime show would be like number 2 or number 3. Like, I think if I call it, I would say Prince number 1, MJ number 2. Katy Perry would probably get number 3. If you remember, 2 really important things in Katy Perry. And I realized,
Sharks.
well, let me you know what? I've never done this, and so I don't know if this will work. But let's
Are you gonna watch
let's
the halftime show?
well, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I'm going to see if this will work. But mostly, so chat, thank you for hanging out with us here, and I'm going to see if this works, because partially I want to see it, and partially I want to know if we can actually pull this off. All right, so yeah, there we go. Oh, you know what? I probably need to stop sharing that, because I need to choose to also share audio tab. Yes. Oh,
Dustin's gotta talk these things out.
I know. It's the way it's the way I work. All right, let's see. Come on now. Do it. Nope, won't do it. All right. Oh, grumble cakes. That sucks. All right. The reason why
Crumble cakes.
Yeah, it's a grumble cakes. You don't know grumble cakes?
I thought you said crumble cake. I was like, crumble.
So
Do you like crumble?
no, I didn't say crumble. So they've got a limitation here. You've got to share the tab if you want the audio. And I'm like, why wouldn't we want the audio? Not just general Katy Perry Super Bowl. So Katy Perry's Super Bowl concert, that's 2025. No, we want this.
Oh, there you go.
So what's great about this is she has this crazy lion. Do you remember this?
I do remember this. Oh yeah, I was watching this for sure.
And the cool thing about this is the first thing I think when I see this is Voltron. This looks like the lion Voltrons. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's Voltrons. And then I'm like, oh, look, she's got a cool dress. Like, it's all cool.
Definitely.
And then, I'm like, whoa, the lion's moving. There's no way. In my mind, I'm like, there's no way this she's gonna ride this lion to the stage, is there? And then it starts moving.
And then it starts moving, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
That's pretty badass. For sure.
It's pretty cool. Like, so, I like Katy Perry as much as anybody does, kind of whatever. But the fact that was a killer prop. And I used to be in show production. Like, I don't know if I told you this, but like one of the things I used to do during college, like I would DJ, but I also would set up shows. I would set up lights. I would set up speakers. I would basically go and do these production gigs. They're all over Florida, and there's always something going on. There's some convention, there's something. And so you get a day rate, and, you show up and you unload a heavy truck, you set up all the gear, you operate the show, pack it up, send it home. And so I've done, not a Super Bowl, but I've done big events like the
Wait,
Daytona
you didn't
500.
do the Super Bowl? I'm done talking to you.
No, I did not. I did not do the Super Bowl. Did not do the Super Bowl. But I did events like the Pepsi 400, the Daytona 500, and stuff like that. So I like the production, the show production. The complexity of making all this crap work is a pretty big deal. So it looks like they only have the lion here, and that's kind of a bummer, because that's only one of the things that we wanted, right? We wanted to see the other thing, which was The famous
shark.
left shark, right? Left shark happened. I paid for YouTube Premium, but it's not in the tab that I have. It's so stupid. Anyways, so for those who remember, this is cool. First of all, that the way that lighting is working on the stage, that's so awesome. Now, hey mom, come see me on the Super Bowl. Who are you? I'm the beach ball, mom. I'm the beach. Which one? I'm the palm tree, mom. But so she did a great job here. You know, it's just fun. And then when they get the dancers together, you know, Left Shark is just getting ready to break out and just do their own thing, and it was noticeable, and everybody knew it immediately. You're just like, this guy's off the choreography, right? And
he saw his moment and he took it.
He totally did, and it became a thing. I remember that year. Left Shark Halloween costumes were like a big deal. A lot of people wearing Left Shark Halloween costumes. And I was joking with people. I'm like, how do I know you're Left Shark or Right Shark? You look just like the shark, you know? How do I know who you are? But Left Shark just kind of like did their thing. Like here, it's like, I could imagine somebody getting gassed and just being like tired so they don't have the energy to do all the moves. But like, no, you see like, oh, everything looks normal here.
Yeah, I know.
But Left Shark just kind of out there doing Left Shark things. Anyways, I'm sure people remember that. And,
of course,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a memorable moment. I'm surprised you haven't brought up Bruno Mars, though. I know we've been talking about Super Bowl halftime shows for too long now, but Bruno Mars, I just want to say, hands down, one of the most amazing halftime shows. That man knows how to perform. That is, you know,
for sure.
I like him a lot.
Question to the chat, really quick. Did the audio? I had the audio kind of down, but could you guys hear the actual video audio while we were playing that through?
I was able to hear it.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Robert says, I'm going to show my age, but the one from 1991 with Disney and New Kids on the Block was a good one too. Heck yeah. That one. Yeah, totally. Dan remembers Left Shark. You know it. And Ron says, wish you were in Denver. He did enjoy the New Kids halftime. Yeah, they're all good. I mean, come on. Like Bruno Mars is great.
Hold on. There's one modern one that I think is absolutely garbage that could have been.
Okay, which one?
Can you guess?
Which one is garbage? Wow.
I'd say not without looking up the exact year. I'd probably say past 10 years. You
know what's funny? I have this filter for crap, and if something sucks, I just forget about it. Unless it sucks extremely bad, at which point I'm like, oh, that was a train wreck. I will remember that. But if it's not good, or if it's not really bad, I just sort of lose it. So I don't even have a guess for you.
I remember seeing this and I thought this was really, really, really bad. The Black Eyed Peas with Slash.
Oh, that was weird. Yeah.
That was just bad. I was not a fan. Not a fan of the Black Eyed Peas live. Not a fan.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the worst halftime shows.
Yeah. That was like everybody did it for the cash. Don't make me hurt you, John. Lol.
Don't make me. Whoa! Hurt me about what? What did I say?
I don't know.
What is that in response to?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure he will come back to us. All right. So we need to get back here, though. We've got a few more things that happened. Some of the additional drops that have happened since the last time we chat, which was just last week. Remind me. I don't remember that we talked about Jaws 50th anniversary. I think that dropped the day we recorded or the day after we recorded. So I don't think we took a look at these. A lot of breakfast ball stuff in here.
Yeah, we may have not talked about Jaws. No.
Yeah. This was a solid drop. From most of the shirts were restocks, and what was new was actually all breakfast balls. Yes. And so these patterns are pretty nice, especially for a polo. I really like this Smile You Son of a. Have you seen Jaws?
That one John? Yes, I have.
Okay,
that one is completely sold out. That one,
yeah,
and that model looks very nice. I know you were commenting before you were waiting for the model and I'm dead.
Totally. This one's great because it has the shark with the oxygen tank kind of poking out of its mouth. But when you look
Yeah,
at it from a distance, it kind of looks like birds or something along those lines.
sure.
So I thought this one was really good. The Teeth Titan Terra, um, nice solid shirt. Like this is a good one. Hey, it's Gates wearing this shirt. Unbuck. I really like the give props to the contrast of the collar against the rest of the shirt. I really like the
Sure. Yeah,
way,
the color really pops. Absolutely.
yeah, it really sticks out there. A little bit nautical, like a little bit of a nautical feel, like that collar. Really enjoy that. And then the 3 tons of him, 3 tons of him, which looks pretty interesting. Let's see if we can get it up close here. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, when
So
you zoom
it's
in, you can definitely see.
yeah. So this is like different poses of Bruce. You know the name Bruce?
Yeah,
On the set of Jaws, the robotic shark had a name, and his
yeah.
name was Bruce. And this is why the big shark in Finding Nemo is named Bruce.
That
It's a tribute
and
back to
that was my
Jaws.
first thought. I was like, "You're Bruce." I'm like, but yeah, no, Bruce. That, for some reason, Finding Nemo was the first thing I thought of. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, Bruce.
yeah, that's
Fish
where
are
it comes
friends,
from.
not food. I'm like,
Fish
right,
are
of course.
friends, not food. Yeah, so good stuff. And then they had some additional things here. They had a 50th anniversary shark blade head cover. That's actually pretty fun. They've got a driver head cover.
Performance
This
hat.
one's pretty cool. The performance hat is good because it's Amity Island, which, for those who don't know, is basically Martha's Vineyard. I was so close to going to this, John. I had to go to the UK last week for work, and I was trying to figure out every possible way to get into Boston, to drive down there. It just would not line up to where I could be where I needed to be in time for work. So I didn't get to go to the celebration. But man, they restored the Amity, the Orca, excuse me. Amity is the island, the ship that the shark chewed up. There were some guys that completely restored the boat and brought it to that celebration so people could see it and look at it as like a restoration piece. Really killer. The towel, this towel is pretty fun.
Definitely,
Um,
and this is now what this maybe this the second towel we've seen now. Remember
yeah, yeah.
we
And
talked about that. And
these are golf towels. Like this, you use this like if you get too much dirt when you take a swing, you wipe off the balls, you wipe off the head of your club if you need to, that kind of thing. Man, that's such a bad pattern. I want to write a complaint. And some ball markers. So sorry, I do a lot of stuff with web, and like that, like pop up pattern when you go back is just like a bad one. I want that changed. I want that changed on the website here.
well,
Anything else you want
I'm
to say
sure
about
that
Jaws?
I just want to say in regards to your complaint, they already fixed the flower for you. Don't get greedy. You know, like you're kind of like on a high right now. Like they like all right, they did the one thing for you. Like all right,
I don't
like
know that they did it for me. They did it for all of us. I
well,
wasn't the
you
only
said you
person.
spoke to them in Japan, and that was at
No, no,
least
no,
eight
no.
weeks, which we know
I let go of a gripe to Scotty, who is not responsible for this stuff.
he may have brought it to somebody though who is
All right.
responsible.
All right. Well, I'm not taking credit for that or the blame, but yeah, I get you. I get you. Don't be greedy. Then we also got some bamboos this week. The bamboo collection is kind of interesting. So I have one bamboo shirt, which is the Pier 13 shirt that you got for me, the exclusive that they offered there in Hoboken.
Yes, and can we just say right off the bat, another thing that I'm really surprised about when it comes to the bamboo collection, if you go to the Kaleidos, we see the extra extra small again pop up, which is something that we talked about a couple of weeks ago with one of the other drops. We're seeing these extra extra smalls pop up randomly.
Oh yeah,
Looks like it's on a couple of shirts now on this bamboo collection. Is this going to be more of a regular thing we're seeing?
that's a
Um,
good question.
which definitely surprises me that we see it going in this direction because at least from what I can see, it seems like the bigger sizes tend to sell out. You would think that's more of the direction that you want to go in. It seems like they kind of, at least I think, get stuck with smaller sizes. So to see now
Yeah,
an extra extra small, it like makes me wonder like what kind of research are they doing and what's there that we don't know, because obviously they're doing it for a reason. There's a reason for this and we're just not aware of it. But what, like, I'm just surprised to see it go in that direction.
yeah.
I'm not
It's
against
very
it, if
interesting.
you're an extra extra small and like you can wear this for yourself, I'm happy for you. It's just something that seems a little surprising to me.
Yeah. I do like looking at this photo for Kaleidos. It's hard to looking at these these views to see the texture, but the one here where there's a side pull, it actually shows up pretty well. You can see the actual bamboo texture inside here. You can see it a lot better. These tend to be pretty cool. I will say that Pure 13 shirt is a like situational shirt for me. It's not one that I'm wearing every single week.
No, of course,
So,
of course.
you know, but yeah, I mean, was other than Kaleidos, was there a shirt here that that you thought was
honestly, I
fun?
really like the Mirage shirt. I thought the Mirage shirt was very nice.
Oh yeah, look at that one. Yeah, yeah.
That is definitely that's the one that I'm like I like the tropical stuff. I like the I like the tropical stuff. So when I see a when I see a shirt that I consider a good travel shirt, like a good beach shirt, um, I um, I really like it.
Yeah. I liked the Terragrave or Terragave. I guess that's probably correct. Terragrave. Terragave. I like this shirt.
That looks
I,
nice too. Absolutely.
yeah, I like how these flowers kind of sit here. Looks pretty nice.
I like the bamboo shirts. I think the bamboo
Yeah.
shirts really look. I'm a fan of the bamboo shirts for sure.
Yeah.
That is definitely one. And we also got both of the shirts that we like, the Kaleidos and the Terragrave, got tuxes as well.
Yeah, and then these are nice looking shorts. Are these short? These shorts are also bamboo. This I have not tried yet. Have you actually tried the shorts? Are these actually bamboo?
I'm definitely eager to try them. I'd like to pick up a trip. I would like to pick up. Maybe I'll pick up that tux before my cruise.
You see that these have belt loops on them too. These shorts have belt loops on them.
I do, yes.
So you can get
nice.
some deck shoes, friends, and tuck your shirt in and get your belt buckle.
That looks nice for sure.
Yeah, it's got belt loops. That's not what I'm used to seeing on performance shorts. But I guess these are resort shorts, not performance shorts. So, yeah, good looking stuff from the bamboo. And let's see what folks said. Robert says no, it's about the house times. He was scared you were going to say something else. Just kidding. Anyways, you're safe.
Thank God, Robert. I wouldn't want to upset you.
Dan says extra small is women's extra small, not a different cut.
Oh, okay.
And then Dan follows on and says bamboo is great in humidity.
Great in the humidity.
I agree, Dan.
I agree. No, they're very breathable. Very nice.
Yeah. Now we had one more set of shirts to go through, and then I think we will wrap it up. Every year around this time, when the Baseball Hall of Fame ceremonies are laid out, Roosevelt's puts out a bunch of shirts, kind of acknowledging and enshrining the legends who are going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. There was a little bit of concern here because this Hotlanta Heroes. Hotlanta is not particularly beloved by the people who live in Atlanta. Same way we don't like San Francisco called San Fran or Frisco. Like that's offensive to us.
I did see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that meant. I was like, so that's just the improper term.
Yeah. It's just kind of like prove to me that you don't know where you are by like not knowing the name of the place where you are, kind of thing. Tourists say that kind of stuff, and we just give them side eye, and same thing. But we don't have to spend a whole lot of time here. I mean, I like baseball. A lot of these players were really big deals back when they were active players. Some of them I remember. This Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, and Jones, incredible. Like the Atlanta Braves in the 90s, just insane, an insanely good team. That full panel painting, it looks gorgeous. I like a lot of these shirts, to be honest. I don't want to own them necessarily, but I like a lot of these shirts. Was there anything here that stuck out to you?
Well, there was one in particular that I wanted to mention. The Mike Piazza shirt. Obviously, Mike Piazza is on the New York Mets, and as a New Yorker, my family is stuck to the Mets. But more importantly than that, if you look through the notes of that shirt, it reads, "This one is extra special to us because it's the last shirt designed by our dear friend Doug Halladay, legendary artist, legendary player, legendary shirt."
Wow.
So when I saw that, I was really happy. I've spoken multiple times how I felt like shirts should, like Roosevelt's, and not just Roosevelt's, but all companies should really have the artists, at least have a mention of who the artist is in there, in case you want to purchase more of their work. So I love the fact that they gave him credit for this year. Doug
Wow.
Holliday obviously passed away a few months ago, and you know, so the fact that they gave him this mention, and this is his last, at least his last Roosevelt shirt. No clue if he's made deals with anyone else, any other shirt brands and whatnot. But it's a great shirt. But I really like that they gave that little tribute to him and that acknowledgement of his work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I didn't know him, but some people that I really respect and appreciate did, and knew him
Same
extremely
thing for me.
well. And
I didn't
yeah,
know him either, but I've only heard the best things.
yeah, same here. Little known fact about Mike Piazza, which makes him such a big fan for so many players. Guess what draft pick this guy was? Don't look it up. Guess what draft pick this guy was? Okay, this guy is a Hall of Fame catcher, John. Where do you think, like in the normal like draft, where do you think this guy got picked?
I mean, I would imagine, most of the best players get picked in the first, 3 rounds. I'd imagine,
Yeah,
that's,
right.
you want to get them picked.
Just like the
I
top
mean,
100, right? Top 100.
right. So I would say probably he was the 10th pick, the 15th pick.
Interesting. Yeah. The truth is is pretty crazy. When you just a little bit of baseball lore, when you get past a certain point, players are getting drafted because you can, and in some years there are 60 or more rounds of the draft. If people want to keep picking and drafting rights, they'll keep letting you go. I don't know, maybe they've changed it now. I don't pay that much attention to the draft, but when Mike, and a lot of times getting drafted is kind of like it could be a favor to like people who are friends of the clubs, like, oh, it's a story you can tell as a kid, like, oh yeah, I used to play baseball, I got drafted by the Yankees, it didn't come to anything. It's just a little nod or hat tip. It's like a favor that people are doing. Mike Piazza was drafted in the 62nd round with the 1,390th pick of the 1988
Oh
MLB
my
draft.
God.
Can you believe that? Like,
that's insane.
A guy who gets picked in that round, John, is not expected to amount to squadoosh.
Well, he showed that. Well, look, he
did show them. He did show them. And yeah, he's certainly a beloved Mets player. And yeah, he's the pizza man. The pizza man. I will absolutely watch the Hall of Fame induction ceremony just to hear what the pizza man has to say, because he was someone super, super special. And yes, and you know what? Gabriel says, and someday, Dustin, we'll get a San Francisco Giants floral or Sharks floral. Come on, Roosevelt's. Come on. You got everybody. Give us a shirt. You don't have to come here. You don't have to come to the fan expo that we have in the Bay Area every single year. That's probably on par and similar size to Denver. You don't have to come to the show, but give us a floor.
One day, man, you're going to get it.
Give it
I
up.
believe in you.
Yeah, and then I got to buy like 15 of them because I got to have a lifetime of them because I'm never getting another one.
Of course, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
No, you got to make sure you have that forever.
No, all good. But yeah, so man, I missed that note about Doug, so I'm really glad you brought that up, because it's always good to give a hat tip to the members of the community who contributed, and those that we miss. And it's unfortunate we got to be thinking about that, and that's a little bit of we want to make sure that we're being thankful and appreciative for each other. Thankful, John. I am thankful for you being here always and listening and putting up with all my good nonsense. Thankful for the community, and thankful for the folks who showed up here to join us and hang out with us here on a Thursday, also known as Friday Junior. That's the new nickname that one of my friends said, "Hey, happy Friday, Junior." And I was like, I don't know if that's going to stick, but it's good for today. So, yeah. Any last comments, John, before we wrap it up and get on with the drinking?
I am also grateful for you and our friendship, and I'm definitely grateful for this community and this podcast. And I thoroughly enjoyed doing this each and every week. It's always fun, and I'm grateful for all the insiders and all who I can call friends. And you guys are all the best. And it's this community means so much to me, and I just love you all for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it. So we'll be back next week, John. Calling you on the carpet next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel.
I think that works. Yeah.
Okay, we will advise. We will let you guys know, but that's probably going to be the plan. Come back with your top 5 original Disney show tunes, and let's see what you guys have to say about that. That'll be a fun activity for us to pick up next week. And of course, we'll be back with all of the latest in Roosevelt's news, the fallout and happenings of over the weekend from the Denver meetup. What actually happened? We'll hear from Ron himself, maybe how the unofficial meetup went. We got lots planned for you guys. While you're here, please like and subscribe to the channel. We are still trying to get to 500. Why is 500 important? 500 becomes important because that's the point where the channel starts to become monetizable. And what does that mean? Well, that means we can get some funds from YouTube or from the community that we will then turn around and put back into this show. We're not quitting our day jobs with the hope of being full-time massive influencers. This is just a way to make the show better for you guys and make the fun that we have together that much more productive and enjoyable. So by all means, please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and we will look forward to seeing you guys next week. And until next time, wear mighty things. So long, everybody.